Morning, hello, and afternoon for those who are in Oz. I hope everyone is doing alright, those who do eventually, potentially watch the stream later on. Today, well, this afternoon's little goal is just fixing up the elevator points on the Majestic Carrier. And the reason being for that is because currently, when I can deploy all the deck parts, no problems. So I can just go and say, hey, let's launch all four of the F4s off, A4s off the deck. Let's go and send up both of the S2 trackers. And I will send the Wessex out. What on earth happened there? Okay. So, bug number one. Okay. Yep, definitely a few things straight now. That was not happening the other day. That was not happening at all. Okay, I got two bugs happening. One, I've got, for some reason, this guy's right here. I don't know why. And two, I don't know why that Wessex came out of lift and came up there. It shouldn't have done that. They should be pulling from these points first, then from the lifts. I say they should, because that's what I originally had in this. So, looking at it. Alright, so it makes some sense in terms of the rear lift bringing up an A4. Because these ones are all single hangar parks, they're considered being able to act quicker, so this poor guy just sits there. But what happens is everything's going in the lift order, the lift number order. So what I need to do today is I need to reorder this. And what I'm meaning is that lift 1 and 2 need to become basically lift 8 and 9. That's pretty much what they need to become. Which also means I will need to redo my taxi paths. Thankfully, I don't need to worry about any of the sub stuff. Now, I do need to just, before I do anything else, I need to have a look at these S2 trackers, because I need to understand why did that spawn in there? Because it wasn't doing that the last time I was playing with this. So let's actually pay attention. Huh. Okay. For some reason they're both spawned in on that point. Actually, one spawned in on that point, and it triggered the animation sequence for that one for some reason. That is not how it's supposed to go.
On station. On station.
Okay, well, I don't need to stress too much because I'm going to be redoing all of this. And what I'm meaning by, if we go to trusty old paint, we can go and write it all up. So, let's go with orange. Currently we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 elevators. Oh, sorry, that one is 8. This one is 9. That one got added later. Story behind that was I discovered I made this thing undersized. It was actually 20 meters shorter than it was supposed to be. I had scaled it at 200 meters. It's supposed to be 218 meters. That made a bit of a difference when it came to putting aircraft out on the deck. So that's the current system. Now what I need to do is change it so that this becomes, let's get the colors once again, so that becomes 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, and 7, with 8 and 9 being the main lifts. And what will happen then is basically it means the lifts are going to be prioritized last, and that is the goal. So what I'm going to have to do now is go up to here, because not everything is going to be going to everything. So like taxi pass, for example, lift, so elevator 8, when I set it up, that will be servicing only a few points. It will service point 1, and it will service point 2. Elevator 7 is going to have exclusive rights to number 3. 9 will service 4 and 6 first, and I need to go and put the block command if it uses 0.5. That's for the that is all for the Wessex. Then the other thing is all of these elevator points, they're all gonna go to launch point 1. So they're all just taxi over. I don't really need to play around too much with waypoints for this, because they generally just go straight there. It's more of the landing point. And once all of these deck parks are used, it will be lift 9 that will also service this point. That's the intention. So, if we go through, I can just set that one to 1, 2, 3, and 4. Go on. That one become 5. And you, sir, I'm just gonna do a little light reordering of the actual stuff. You become 6. You become 7. And then these ones will be 8 and 9. Doesn't matter too much about the actual number order in here, because the game just reads the number, not the order of which it reads them, and it will go, okay, we're going to operate elevator 1, 2, 3 first, in order. Sometimes, if you change the order of the associated lifts, it will change the order of which things operate. Sometimes. Alright, so now that we've done that, I have to go and change a few other bits. So all the launch points, they say to stay. Nothing's going to change there. They are all set, they're fine. Recovery points. Recovery points do need a change. So the associated elevators for recovery point 1. Recovery point 1 is here. So if I bring this back up, and let's just get the...
Roger, RTB.
That's not really what I wanted. So if you want to know how I did all that, F10, go to the menu, flight deck, and just press generate the test points. This will show all of your flight deck stuff. And what this is showing at the moment is I've got all my landing points. So there's the main runway point, which looking at also needs to be adjusted. So that point has not been changed since rescaling. So if we go back into, let's go and swipe this one, and we can go and we can name them all and say that one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That makes life a little bit easier. And then, okay, so recovery point 1, I don't actually want the helos using recovery point 1. Which has already been set. But I do need to fix this bit up. Alright, sorry about that. Okay, so what was I doing? Alright, so recovery point 1 is now set. So it will fill all, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8. And we've changed it so 8 is the front lift. No, but I don't have anybody on here yet. Given the time and everything, I doubt I'll really be seeing too many people jumping on, but some might still watch the live stream later. Alright, next. the order of all these, because they're all out of order. All I know is that is definitely point 1 over here. Okay. Let's refresh this. And let's just quickly work back and work them out. Just refresh the game so I can get some friends back. And we're just going to confirm that I've got these in the right order. Yes, yeah. I get things working, but I don't always write things up neat. Okie doke. Now. Okay. Alright, to confirm that this one is going to be recovery point 2. Which I don't think it is. So, let's blank out some of these and just check them. Okay. Alright, so that one was definitely recovery point 2. It's just called recovery point 4 in here, so I should just probably rename them in a minute. Just check the next one. Yep. Write that down. Next. Yep. Pretty sure I have done everything in the right order. It's just these are written in the wrong order in terms of the actual numbering. But that's fine. I can redo those and there won't be any dramas. Hello?
Going on?
Holy shit, someone's here. You know that moment when you hear voices in your head?
Oh, I can't hear you.
I'm just fixing up Melbourne's flight deck. I have done all of, well, I've written everything up in all sorts of orders, and now I'm just translating my mess. How's work?
Right now.
What's that?
Ah, there you go. Now I can hear.
You couldn't hear me before?
Nah,
Oh dear. How's work today?
I'm still working.
Ah, shit. You're not stuck on that same old problem, mate.
No, no, no. No, no, no. No. Dealing with different customers getting attacked. Good fun. How you going?
I'm fixing up the flight deck on Melbourne. So
Nice.
I wrote everything out of order, like you do when you're dyslexic, and part of the problem with doing stuff like that is ship breaks.
Yeah. I think I'm living that professionally, to be honest.
The main thing that was breaking was some of these deck parks. For some reason, like one of the lists just kept spawning into the other one, and yeah, I will track down those bugs and get them fixed up.
Hey, the whole deck pathing thing though is so fidgety. I was trying to play with it a little bit because I got frustrated with how the carriers work out of the box. Man, they are easy to screw up.
Yes. And there's some really interesting ways on how to break them too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
early on, when I was first playing with deck parks, I was trying to make a more, like a more Harrier VTOL approach landing. And one method I used was raising the recovery point off the deck. So it would literally come in, fly in, stop, and then lower itself down, drive itself to its elevator point, and then it would raise back up into the air, back to the previous Y level, where it came in at from the recovery point, and then lower itself back down to its elevator point.
Yeah,
It was like, why?
Crazy. Nah, it's been because I was trying to set up the Austin with actual proper deck movements, and I just could not get it the way I wanted it at all. I burnt heaps of hours on that. I was like halfway.
You haven't looked at my mod.
I've downloaded it for Austin. I haven't had a chance to have a look yet.
Okay, so in the Austin one and in the one that's on the workshop, I haven't enabled it, but it's there. You just got to remove an asterisk. No, a hash. Sorry, not an asterisk. But it is set up to have the Sea King and the Cobras working.
Oh, cool. Do they actually like? Because one of the things I was trying to do, obviously a three chopper size deck, and I wanted to just be able to like have them park and stay as opposed to all trying to fit in that tiny crappy hangar.
So to do deck parks, you have to set up a static mesh.
Yeah.
You got to link that static mesh to
An
an animation file.
Yeah.
And
That's what I was
because you're
around with.
dealing with positions, you need to go and copy the static mesh location and put it in the animation and have it make sure it goes back to that position.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah,
with
that
the elevators, you have to offset them. You have to offset the spawn point by a small fraction based on the ground taxi pitch.
Yep.
Otherwise, you don't get a seamless. You don't get a
yeah.
seamless transition when it spawns in.
Yeah. Interesting. Oh fuck! I wish I had some time. I go back and play with all that stuff.
So yeah, if you get the Austin that I've got in the workshop, that has everything all set up in there in terms of the deck paths.
The other thing that I was finding frustrating is with the parking, you can only park the same type of chopper with the exact same livery. You wouldn't be able to do the
So,
actual model that landed, which is really
there
irritating.
is a way to work around that,
Yeah.
and I have done that. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. Here we go. Okay. I mean, you're not watching the live stream.
Is there a live stream? Wait, what's the live stream?
Um, Let me see if I can. I'm just streaming it straight into
YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay. So, for the Falklands War mod, campaign mod that we're working on, I've made a test heli park. So the idea is basically in the missions you put this into the map, and what happens is you can order your helicopters to land there by using the rebase command. And so by default, everything's in the high position, and it has capacity for only one helicopter at a time.
Yeah.
So what happens then is, say, my Wessex comes in to land, it lands, and a Wessex will appear there. If one of my Lynxes come in, instead it's set up for a Lynx to come in and land as well, which for some reason is broken.
Yeah, right.
And so it's a reverse method of the deck parks, and what it is, it's using multiple elevator points that are all limited to types, and when the elevator activates, it activates the animation that's associated to it, so it'll just spawn in whatever's supposed to be parked there.
You named animations after the actual submodels. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because you can link them. So you just link it to the main parent, and then have all the subparts all parented to the main body.
Yeah.
And it just moves that one piece. You don't have to do any other fiddling.
Yeah, that's sick. Oh, you could do a similar thing with like oh, okay, jeez, God. Carrier decks and spawn.
I could do this on ships as well. Like I called it universal parking, and I was working on it a while ago, but this was before they had the supported class filtering, and I just got frustrated and just stopped working on it.
Probably what I did.
Yeah. Because back then the only filters you had were the type filters. So you could have plane, VTOL, helicopter, and STOL, and that was it.
Yeah.
So yeah, this will go into one of the Falkland missions for when capturing points and stuff, and you should be able to set up a trigger. And I'm gonna have to have a look at missions to work out how all that shit works. And you should be able to just set it up so that you can have a trigger set up that when capacity goes from 0 to 1, you have a trigger event occur.
Yep.
Should. I don't know. I'll have a look at it. I've got a long list of shit to look at. Oh, and I don't have a hitbox, so I can't right click on that heli point.
Oh, shit, that's cool. Cool. Because the other thing I was struggling with was, but again, this is before the recent patch, is the libraries on the submodels on the deck. I couldn't get them to set, so I was trying to set them for the MD500, and it was just bringing up weird libraries every time I brought that submodel in. That was really annoying. It's probably fixed now, though.
It should only be something like, at a guess, maybe 10, 12 submodels for this thing. so there'll be, so you got, for each blade there's a submodel, plus the rotor hub. You don't need to worry about the wash blade thing for the static. You only need to put in the blade. And then what you need to do is go to the animation file and copy the folded positions.
Yep.
And that's how you set it so that the rotor blades are all folded.
Yep. That's my next job. Let's look at that file somewhere.
So, and at some point, hopefully the devs are going to go and put in a code. It shouldn't be too difficult for them to script in a basic sort of hold spawn, like, you know, don't despawn on this location or something code. Or just put in like a free spawner, because like think of like the Tara for example. If they put that in there, I could animate, like I can model and animate the assault, like the amphibious bay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that would be epic.
Which would be sick, right?
Whereas at the
Because
moment,
you can make. Oh, I was just
Sorry.
thinking, you can make like ships out of the CVT submodels, easy.
oh, one thing I tried. Where is it? I think it was the Charleston. Yeah, it's Charleston. So the Charleston has one of the loadouts has the amphibious boats on it. So these little assault boats on the Charleston. And I tried a few methods with them. I tried to go and get them to I attached them to a tow array system in order to simulate having them go out into the water. And then I tried to set them up as a torpedo with zero, like its buoyancy level was set to 0, and it just didn't look right because it just passed through the waves. And trying to set a missile at that level, the next problem is it will crash.
Yeah. I guess you can't really spawn in an actual boat as well.
No.
On another boat.
No, I was trying to come up with a workaround, but currently the only real methods is to use triggers in the missions.
Yeah.
But I was playing around with that while I was working on where's my Steam stuff?
Yeah. It's that, and what was the other thing I was trying to do? Can't even remember now. What is time anymore? Oh, you got some comments, mate.
I got comments?
Yeah,
Oh, which one?
in YouTube.
Hey! How's it going, guys? Seabase was on last night.
Yeah, cool.
That actually reminds me, Seabase, like, you've never asked, but I know you have got some mods there, so I should probably do the thing and make you a naval tech.
Oh, yeah. He probably has more interesting mods than flags, eh?
You know what's funny though? So many people use your mod.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
Yeah. I get a lot of comments directly in Steam. Just like requests for new flags and stuff. It's pretty crazy. especially since Sea Lifter doesn't need to be used for it anymore.
That does help.
Yeah. Not that there's anything wrong with Sea Lifter, but I think people saw that as pretty daunting.
Yeah, some people have some interesting views on it.
Hmm.
Like a lot of most people who are against Sea Lifter just basically have just a strong stance of not wanting to use a third party
Yeah.
program to load things in, and Sea Lifter does have a performance hit on CPAP.
Yeah. Yeah. Your slower rigs will struggle with it.
Yeah, so it's loading extra stuff on top of what it's already doing. So it'd be great when Yacha does get around to putting in an object loader,
Hmm.
but it's not a priority because what we have, it works essentially.
Yeah. 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 Correct. Plus all the legalities of actually having that as a supported thing.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, yeah, but they'll have to work out indemnity and all that sort of stuff first, I can imagine. I clearly work too much in IT.
Okay, now
God,
I
that
gotta
is
think
looking
about where
good.
was I?
Is that the Gannet you've got on the deck there? Or is that a tracker? That's a tracker.
No, that's the tracker. I don't.
Yeah.
I haven't built a Gannet.
That's why I was surprised. I was like, wait, what?
No, one day I'll get to it. But my list of things I gotta build is like this coming weekend. I will probably be putting in a bit of a slog to build a Type 22 frigate.
Nice. Nice.
Um,
Yeah, it was.
which is not gonna be as time consuming as some of these have been in the past because I've got more of these little detail model pieces now.
Cool. My God, you go to a big decimal point with your positions.
What are you looking at? Oh, this. Yeah, that's because so not another Ave wrote that script for me. Remember how it was
Yeah.
the OBJ rigger,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it pumps out
That was
long
crazy.
decimal points.
Yeah. I go to like 3 with my position. I'm not that good.
It doesn't need to go this far. Like it only needs to go a max of maybe 4 or 5 at most.
Yeah.
But it works.
Oh, yeah.
it's made things so much easier.
Yeah. Crazy.
Like, I'll bring it up. So, I think it was last week. I was working on the Seawolf Sectacle launcher.
Yep.
So this thing. Now, there's, what was it? So 24 moving doors on this thing.
Mm.
There was no way I was going to just do that by hand, so I used the OBJ rigger tool and had it done in 5 minutes.
Yeah, wow.
And they're all animated, they all work.
Yeah, nice.
Now the only thing is, I do need to go back to this at some point, and I gotta go and trim these little door pieces back a bit. Because at the moment they're too long, so they just clip into the launcher box underneath it.
Oh, yeah.
And you look at the picture of this thing, there's not that much space. This is reasonably accurate with the amount of, like, the
Yeah.
gap between everything. But yeah, so that one's got its, the launchers all set up, it's got its own little missiles in there, Seawolf missiles, and last night I finished off the quad launcher for the Seacat.
Yep.
I do need to mess around with these positions because they are not in the right spot.
It still looks good though. Oh, that's sick.
early models, they had to work with a director thing, and essentially a guy would sit in there and aim the director dish
Yeah.
to give all the commands. And then later
Yeah.
models, they got rid of the director, and it sits inside this big pointy cone thing on top.
Huh.
So they did honestly make it more compact.
They were in service forever though, weren't they?
Well, we had them into past the 70s because I was researching the daring class, which I still need to actually write a thing about. Because apparently they actually did put a CCAT system on HMAS Vampire.
Oh yeah.
I don't know when or how.
Yeah.
I don't know where they put it either. Like, there's no real good locations for it. Maybe they had it on just like on the back.
Wait, have I seen a picture of that thing, man?
If you go to Sydney, you definitely have seen a picture of this thing.
No, I mean with the actual CCAT launcher.
If you have, that would be amazing because I've not found anything.
I did a submission to the Royal Navy, not the Royal Australian Navy, but this was in service everywhere.
Yeah,
because
there
my
was a
grandfather.
total of 11 builds. So
Yeah.
we had 3, and the Royal Navy had 8, and then 2 went on to Peru.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of them served till 2005, which is pretty nuts when you think about it.
Yeah, right. It's so boxy.
Yeah. And like, there's all this wasted space in the middle. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't modeled this properly because on the real thing, like this little bridge section, this little walkway goes in a diagonal line to
Yeah.
join up. It doesn't go straight across.
Not flat.
But
Yeah.
anyways, because that's where the torpedo launcher used to be, in that gap, and now it's all now it's all just like their damage control stations and stuff.
Yeah.
So essentially they've got all sorts of like repatching like electrical lines and stuff there, going from like one superstructure to the other if the main lines get cut.
Yeah, no. Doing all those thin lines and modelling those though, that must be a pain.
Thin lines.
Like for actual cables and whatnot, bits of rope and all the weird stuff that they used to do.
Oh, look, the rails in there, that's just a texture.
Yeah, right. Oh, so you just do a flat object with a rail texture.
Yeah, yeah. So these are the
Actually model them.
the rail textures that you can see. They're all from just inside the game. They're all C-Power assets. So I just use them.
Yeah, what folder are they in?
Sorry?
What folder are they in? Just materials, ship's materials.
If you have the game unpacked, it is in ships, materials, and textures.
I don't. Can you tell?
So that's where you can find that. But you don't need to have the game unpacked to be able to make use of those sort of things.
No, it just makes it easier to
assign
work
it
out
to the
what
material.
folders are. Yeah.
And that's all I do. I just assign it to the material. I do import it into Blender when I'm setting these up, because I went through on some of these and making sure that like these little rail poles were like on the corners and everything, which just meant moving around on the UV map and stuff. But the only actual wires that I have modeled had these little rigging lines.
Yeah.
And yeah, the towers and stuff, they've got their own little bits and stuff. It's not fun. That's what I mean,
Mate,
like, we've got more and
get
more
a
assets
budget,
being built up.
Oh, is this it? Oh no, that's Swan, not a daring class. Yeah, right. Alright, I'm just going through all my photos, see if I've got that. That sea cat picture. They're cool launches though, aren't they? Oh no, has my sound stopped again?
I was just looking at time. I'm gonna have to go and get one of the kids ready for bed in a minute.
Are you right?
Gotta let it calm down first.
Oh, so that's Yarra. That's not daring class either.
No, the Yarrow is, I think that's a Rothsea River class, or it's the Leander River class.
Yeah, I got a photo of a sea cat firing off one of them, but no.
Yeah, they did have Sea Cats.
Yeah.
Yeah, the River class had Sea Cats, and they had the Ikara launchers on them as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we had originally 4 of the Rothseas, River class variants, and then when Voyager got cut in half by Melbourne, we got 2 more, but Leander ones converted into Rivers.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's not too much difference between the two. Now, the main thing with the Australian ones, though, is we never put hangars on them.
No. We were afraid of helicopters.
But the Leander one, there's a few good little models of the Leander River one, and I really want to make it because there's no gap in here. They made it sort of like a complete pass-through superstructure section in the middle. It's got some really good clean lines. The aft section is kind of like what's on the on Darren class. It's sort of that narrow structure that goes out.
Yeah. Yeah, they're cool.
Oh, and also on ours, there's a cutout where the Ikara goes. So they cut out a section in the deck here, where they put an Ikara launcher that can only fire off one side, basically.
Yeah, I've got photos of those too.
Yeah, the magazine on those things is huge. Like, say for example, the Ikara is just sort of the Ikara cutout launcher section is just sitting between these white lines where I put the helipad. The assembly room is pretty much goes up into roughly where this hangar is, and then the magazine is another compartment beyond that as well. And the Australian ones all came pre-assembled, but the British ones, they wanted the option to be able to separate the torpedo from the missile, and the main reason for that is so that they can have the option of putting the nuclear depth charge on it.
That's right.
You know.
I've heard all about that.
Apparently, they had access to the nuclear depth charges during the Falkland Wars. Like they had them on Hermes and that.
Oh, that would have been elevation escalation, wouldn't it? Oh, what's this one? Hang on. What's the picture I remember?
Let's break the game. It's set up. But I've got the rough sea model. It's just a little bit broken at the moment. It's not too much different between a Leander and this. The main thing is like the superstructure goes out to the walls of the hull.
Yeah. You have to do doors.
And it's got more. I mean, I gotta fix this up. But it's also got more of a cutout here as well.
I haven't got any pictures of that, of the rough side. It's a bit weird. Not quite sure why.
There should be a few of them.
Oh yeah, laziness is 100% cause.
Yeah, I'll eventually get that one working.
Guess what I'm doing tomorrow?
Yeah. I was talking to my dad
Still
about
running? Hey?
it. I tried to talk my dad into taking me. And then we looked at the price and we're like, yeah, alright, nah.
Gonna be sick.
Well, if you see a gannet there, make sure you get plenty of photos.
All sorts of crazy stuff there, apparently. As long as it's still on. Did you hear what happened today?
Protesters and stuff.
Sorry.
There was some protesters trying to block.
No, worse than that. They had a crash, mate.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
What crashed?
One of the acrobatics planes.
Goddamn! I see them down my way a fair bit actually.
It's really terrible.
Not far from me is the Aldinga aerodrome, and what they do is they a lot of them they base themselves out there, and they go out and they fly over the ocean near me. So because I've got the cliffs just a few like just more or less outside the door, I can just walk out there and watch them go out there and doing all their practices and everything.
Yeah, sick. That's the same reason I live where I live, right next to the ocean where they all practice.
Yeah.
But not in South Australia, obviously.
Oh, they travel around, thankfully.
Yeah. I swear I did a photo
The
of
only
this.
thing I don't like about living next to the ocean is everything rusts.
I'm not that close, thank God.
Well, when we first moved in, some of the houses weren't built yet, so we had nothing to. There was no windbreak between us and the cliffs.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we copped a lot of heavy buffeting winds because it gets pretty windy here from time to time, and as a result, like some of the padlocks outside completely rusted over.
Oh, God.
They were only out there for like 6 months.
Yeah, wow. Well, the other thing is that where we are, it's not sea spray, it's the port, so you don't get proper ocean spray or anything like that anyway.
We yeah, we look out to the York Peninsula.
Mm.
So if I go out to the cliffs, I can. If I look to my left, I can see out to Victor Harbour. Not quite. I can't see out to Kangaroo Island from where I am. That's a bit further around the point. And
Yeah.
if I look to my right, I can see all the way up to Port Adelaide, and a bit further.
Yeah.
Can't quite see up to like Port Augusta and Whyalla and all that.
Oh, well, that'd be over the horizon. It's that far
Yeah,
away.
they're a lot further. But I can kind of see the York from where I am. It's a bit hazy, but on a good clear day, I can see across.
Yeah.
Across.
Huh.
It's like
Yeah,
when
we
I
don't have
used to live up on the northern side. I could see the Flinders Ranges.
Yep. Yeah.
On the
Pretty spot.
right kind of weather, like with the right weather, you can just see the peaks of the Flinders out there. Okay.
Oh, this book says that it didn't have the sea cat.
Oh,
River was.
we only had the 6.
Decoy was. In the Royal Navy.
Decoys are in.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Fitted for trials in 1963, but then it was removed. And it was never installed on any other class. Hmm. Thought I saw a photo of it though. Well, there's this picture. Maybe that'll help you if you still want to do it anyway. There's your chat. That's pretty hard to place.
That is not on a daring. That is on a
Apparently it's on
Leander.
Decoy. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll move it into the stream so Cohen and that can see. That honestly, that does look like it's lit on a Leander. If it is on a daring, hang on. Let me bring out my model. So if it is on a daring, I suspect replaced replaced one of these bofa positions, because that's what they were originally designed to do, was to be just a swap out replacement for the 40 mils. And the director, because that looks like it's just behind it, that looks like the base of the director.
It's too square though.
Yeah,
Round.
yeah, that's what the CCAT director looked like.
No, I mean like the actual deck around it looks too square.
Yeah, it doesn't quite match up. Where did I get the directors from?
Oh, don't do that, you silly PC. My God, is this script ever gonna finish?
No.
That's what it feels like. Yeah.
Oh, I got no idea where I found those submodels. I'd actually have to look at the Meander file. But yeah, so the closest, like this is on the stream. That is supposed to be the Leander director, the CCAT director. This is not what it looks like in real life.
Hmm. Oh, yeah. So you're thinking that deck beneath?
So, in the stream,
Yeah.
yeah, this is what you find on the wiki page.
Yeah.
That's the booth thing that people used to go and sit inside of to go and manually aim it.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Something like Star Wars, doesn't it?
Nah, that's more like Warhammer. Sentinel,
Yeah.
Imperial Guard, Sentinel.
I have
Just
one.
go and stick some two legs on it, little side mounted multi-laser. That's
Yeah.
definitely a Sentinel.
Sorry, I'm just keeping work running in the background.
You're good.
Oh, hours. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is a decoy with exocet launchers on it. That's cool.
What class was decoy?
Bearing, wasn't it?
I think so.
It was RN though, not Australia.
Yeah, it was their trial. If I'm remembering correctly, decoy was them trialing to see whether or not they should do the conversion to all of them.
Oh wow, so decoy was ordered and then they cancelled it and just used it as a trial ship.
Oh, okay.
But then it was commissioned properly in 53 and sold off to the Peruvians.
Yeah.
What is this? This has got an exocet on it. I think. I'm pretty sure. It's a bit blurry. I just chucked you a pig.
Okay, so they built out the rear structure to be able to put in a full-size helipad. Not like what Vampire has, which is it's more of a cargo drop and emergency helicopter landing point.
Mm.
God damn, that is a very different layout.
Right? It looks the same at the front,
Yeah.
but that's what, eight exosuits? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 8.
Well, look, they have the try things, I guess.
That's cool. I'm glad I found that photo. And the new daring classes are older than ships.
There was, um, there's a few plans out there where they essentially replaced the, what is it, sea turret with
Yep.
a sea dart.
Yeah, right. On the new darings or the old ones?
The old ones. So
Yeah, right.
there's a few there was a few plans that I remember seeing at some point where they, this was for the Royal Navy, Royal Australian Navy, sorry. They were looking at, they did a feasibility study to work out, could we do it, could we not? This was, I think, around 75.
Yeah, right.
75 to 80 in order to extend their life, but they decided not to, and then ended up getting um, the Allied class in.
Mm.
By that point, the darings that we had, they were very long in the tooth.
Only from like World War II, it's fine.
Yeah, they just can't do anything.
Yeah.
Actually, that's something I need to look at. So, where is it?
Why is this taking so long?
was her harpoon again? What's that? What is it? Like a Mark 84 or something?
Yeah, RGM 84 or whatever it's called. Yeah.
So, um,
We
what
can
was it?
GM
The
it
other
with
week, I learned how, I found where all the health bars are basically kept.
Ah, cool.
So every system has an associated amount of health, and most stuff is pretty low. An airfield, for example, has 200 health.
Yeah, those things are annoying to destroy.
Yeah, well, if you see how many points, like how much damage cannons actually do, it's yeah, they do between 5, 10, and 20 damage.
So like a 127 mil is 20. 10 would be what? 4.5 inches. And then 5 would be 20 mils.
If it
As it
depends,
gets.
I guess. According to this, so a Royal Navy 114mm caliber. I'm guessing that's the 4.5. It's got a power of only 4.5 per shot.
Yeah, right.
And then the harpoon has a damage potential of 45. And then when you go to systems and you click on modules, the health points is these integrity things. So anything in the control systems, they got a 10 HP, CIC 30, bridge 10, airfield 200, and it's like the only thing that has like that much.
Yeah, wow.
Everything else has only got like a handful of points.
I haven't used bridges in the game yet.
Oh, they kind of default.
I tried to use the ports, but they were buggy ads. I think the game's screaming out for some really interesting docks and stuff.
Well, I don't have any information on like how they're planning on doing the campaign.
Yeah.
It'd be really nice to have a bit more info about how they're planning on having the campaign system all set up, because at the moment,
There will be one. That's about all we know.
yeah, there'll be something.
Yeah. Oh, that's not good. God.
Hmm?
Work stuff.
It's Friday. You should be done.
I concur wholeheartedly. That's not all bad. At least this is interesting stuff. I don't know how you do this in Notepad, man. You're braver than me.
Well, look, Notepad plus plus. Like, you know, it's nice in
Oh, I
the
don't
fact
like
that
that
I can
either.
collapse things and I can have it in dark mode. But I'm just so used to doing it like this. Like, I've tried using Notepad plus plus and like, you know, it was familiar, but it felt foreign.
Yeah, I don't touch Notepad plus plus either.
um, God,
I get crazy though. Like if you have a look at my setup, oh, I think I've already shown you, and I've got like
yeah,
crazy colors.
you've got like what, 3 monitors plus a little scroll monitor and all these other
Oh,
things.
not even that. Just like the view I've got in VS Code is like crazy colors and highlighting and all sorts of weird stuff.
Yeah, you can set that up with Notepad plus plus.
Yeah,
See,
but you can't.
this is what it looks like.
You can't do AI injecting lines in Notepad plus plus though.
Oh, probably not. But like, yeah, you can collapse brackets and everything.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm just so used to just scrolling back and forth, Control F, search this, Control C, Control V.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any real difference. And then there's like auto highlighting and stuff in Notepad plus plus, and that throws me off because it's a behavior that I'm not used to.
What do you mean when you highlight an object, it'll highlight other matches?
Well, I mean there's that, but it's more like when you're typing, it has like there's like autofill and all these other things that come in.
Yeah.
So if it detects, oh, this is the same thing that you've already been typing, it will autofill that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And because I'm just not used to that behavior, it throws me off every time. So I just stick with what I know, what works.
Fair enough. It's all about having fun anyway.
Like, yeah, it's easier on the eyes. And if I had to do this on a more regular basis, then yeah, sure, I would definitely transition. But I don't like transitions.
Yeah, whereas I don't do the same thing twice. So. Dear. Ooh. Yeah, do you reckon they're going to do that whole ship refueling properly? Get Sacramento up and running and whatnot?
I think they will, because like if you look at how the tow array system works, it can create a particle effect that's linked between
Yeah.
the two objects. So at the very end of the tow array is an actual object, and you can change it because I had fun. I made an Iowa into one.
Yeah.
So So one of my
Yeah.
mods is basically you've got a Sea King with an Iowa dangling out of the bottom of it. And it gets pretty interesting. It's supposed to be a cursed Iowa mod because everybody was doing the Iowa, so I'm like, fine, I'm gonna do my own. So you can go pretty extreme, and so I won't be shocked if they write a script that goes along the lines of link this object to this object
Yeah.
between such and such when in such range and all that shit. Because that's pretty much what happens at the moment with the tow array, and then you can use an INI file to adjust the links and everything.
Mm.
They will have to add extra scripting in there though for brakes. So say if you broke away too quick, it would damage, like it can cause damage to the system and everything. Because that's not in the scripts
That
at
would
the
be
moment.
interesting. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Because then you actually have to kind of like think about it in a mission.
Well, in all honesty, yeah. And Seabase, yeah, you could tow if they can make it work with ships, they can make it work with planes. Like it'd be no
Yeah.
different. It'd just
Yeah.
be they would set it up in they'll set up the script to they have a predefined formation position.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it would go it would go in a behavior line of check ships are in formation position with X amount of distance. Confirm that target has sub object XYZ on it, and then create particle effect linking to.
Yeah.
And it could be a countdown or it could be a resource checker. I don't really do scripting. I only understand how behaviors go, because that's basically what that is. From what I can tell, it's all just about logic. It's kind of like logic behaviors, and trying to link them all up into certain orders.
You could just they've already got the functionality for the range left on the aircraft, right? So you could just change that attribute value to right up while the animation's going instead of right down, and probably change the speed of it, and you're done. Like from a game mechanics side, that's not the hard part. I think the animation would be way harder.
The animation's not really going to be isn't going to be that hard, because they've got all the scripting and everything in there for takeoffs, and that is a lot more involved.
Yeah.
This is just get into formation, hold formation, have a situation for handling brakes.
I'm gonna add it going between objects.
Like a drop command in there. So, say for example, you do an abort sequence. The probe gets dropped into the water, and then they tow it all in. The actual tow array itself is in terms of it's got physics behavior to it.
But they've got flags and stuff. It's not too different to that.
Flags is handled by a shader. So there is a wind flapping shader in the game that you can manually set up yourself, and you can actually adjust the intensity of the wind flutter.
Yeah, I've seen that happening. That's a shader. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's just a shader. It can also fill in as a really good effect for making a swimming fish.
Yeah.
Because you can apply that to a whole mesh.
Yeah, of course.
So, me, AGM, and one of the other guys, we were playing. This was before they brought in the texture loader support into CPAL. AGM he got shader controls added into Seabase. Bingamabob. Anyways,
Do
Uh,
you know if it's triggered on the submodel name?
what? What's
The
that?
um the shader. Like, there's nothing in the INI that indicates that that submodel is affected by shader. So, do you think that's based on
It's
the?
the shaders are all handled by the material INI files.
I haven't did those. That's
Yeah.
what it'll be.
Um. Uh. What am I using? It's DN's. Is it DNS by? DN Spy is the program I use. CBase. And it's pretty easy using DN Spy because you can drag and drop the DLL files into it. So I can just go and close all that and then go and bring up where is it? Yeah, manage. That's it. So you just CPower data, go to manage. That's where all the DLL files are kept. That's got all the scripts. And then drag that all in there, and then boom, all the C++ scripts of the game are right there.
Cool.
So that's got
Just
all the
imagine
Unity
what
stuff and everything in it.
just imagine what my AI will do with all that. Where do you get the decoding keys for the machine code, though? Is that just a selection when you load up
What's that?
this app?
Decoding keys.
Well, usually when they create those DLLs, if they're using machine code to do some kind of encryption, so you can't do this.
I guess Unity just doesn't have that kind of support.
Yeah, I think there's only like 16 encodings, so it might just run them all. I can't remember, I haven't been so long.
I mean, I'm kind of thankful that they haven't encoded it all because there's so much I wouldn't really know or be able to tell.
Yeah, I'm wanting to be way harder.
Like I wouldn't have known anything about like the ski ramp stuff.
Yeah,
Because that's
yeah.
hidden into here.
yeah.
It's not actually connected to anything. I was looking through it all, and he actually confirmed it with me that they hadn't actually assigned a trigger to it. Yeah,
That's
that's
the
right.
other one.
CBase.
Oh, sorry, what?
You just said it. Just decompiles.
Yeah, yeah.
But
All right,
has-
I gotta run. I've
Okay.
finally finished work.
Are you actually going home now?
Yep.
All right. You have a safe drive home.
Yeah, I'll catch you soon, though, man.
All right. See ya. But yeah, all the different behaviors and everything are all in here. Takes a bit to understand. I read this at the level of like a toddler. But I will be back in roughly 15-20 minutes. Just gotta go and finish all the bedtime routines. So I will see you all again soon, okay?